Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LIVENODING. In this episode, I will try to make this kind of pottery that was inspired by this Japanese art of pottery. So the other day, I was looking at this documentary. It's from BBC4 Handmade in Japan, and it's a documentary about the making of sword, kimono, and pottery. And the pottery itself actually really interesting. It's all about handmade, and one of the pottery that I just draw it just now. It's very roughly. The pottery itself is made of two parts. So the bottom part looking like this, and the top part, and the bottom part can be used in itself, but you can also cover it with the top part. But there's the hollow bit in the middle. So that's kind of interesting. So I think I can create that procedurally. I mean, using Sverchok add-on. So this is like much more simplified version. This is just the bottom part, and it's looking more like an ashtray. If it's upside down, it'll be a little bit like a maybe like a jellyfish or umbrella, or like a lot of shape actually start from this really basic shape. So this is I want to share this setup with you. It's actually, as you can see, the nodes is really simple, and this is the result, and it's still procedural, and I can still adjust a lot of things. I'll show you how it's started. So even this, it looks like a king's crown or something, or queen's crown. There's this setup for height. This is actually a cylinder, right? And I can reduce the subdivisions to 0. So we have just the top and the bottom part of the cylinder, with the top part having this kind of a sine wave. And yeah, that's basically the idea. With the subdivision, is a little bit more interesting, and you can see the height is actually becoming minus. If I do it like this, it's going to be overlapping, but it's interesting. You can see here what basically I'm using the UV connections and separating each circle of the cylinder. What do you call it? Edge ring or edge loop? Edge loop, I think. So with subdivision 0, it's much clearer. I'm basically taking the first one of the cylinder, the first circle, and the one that's been separated is being modified using sine wave. The one that's doing the job is actually this move, and this move, this guy right here. Let me have a think. So this one is the sine wave, and the sine wave goes into the z-axis, and it's become the vector in for the move. So that's why it's doing this. I couldn't find a setup that to confirm this exactly, but you can eyeball it, sort of. So yeah, with a cylinder with subdivision of 0, we only have 2 circles. UV connection separating the circle. Grab the first circle and get the length, get the total number of points. This goes into the range float, sine wave, and this one is to adjust the wave amplitude, and this goes into the move, and then we get this is the multiplier, of course, and there's also this offset. Maybe this guy should be at the bottom if the cylinder wants to be correct. Oh, this one is actually creating the top part if you want to make like the pottery thing. So it's kind of interesting this way also. And we can still adjust the cylinder, and perhaps we want to make like an umbrella. Just an idea, right? So I like this kind of imperfection, right? with the handmade pottery stuff. This is all the handmade. See, with the kimono, it might take like a year to make a single kimono and cost like thousands of dollars. The pottery also handmade and takes hours, maybe days. And what's really cool, if you have chance to watch this documentary, is have a look. It's actually really interesting. So yeah, we can do it procedurally using Blender, more or less. And this shape can be for anything, maybe mushroom, or like I say, jellyfish and umbrella. I don't know. It's a nice shape. And if you like it, you just bake it. And you have that shape. This one is actually flip, I guess. The normal is flip, so we need to flip it over here if you like. Flip normals. But there's a lot of things that causing this flipping. So this is correct, kind of, but it's not everything. Maybe, yeah, this one is correct, and then you can just use solidify. That's the quick and easy way. There's a hole at the top and at the bottom, but I guess this is still kind of useful setup. It can be improved, of course. This is just an idea. Like this, this is sine wave. You can change it into noise or whatever. And if you want to have more points, you can just add it here. For subdivision, okay. That's for that. And this can have more or less of the wave and then if you just pick the right number for the stop, you're gonna have a nice wave all around. So this shape, normally if you want to do it manually, maybe take a while, but this is doing it procedurally, so maybe you can make a skirt also. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully you find this useful. Let me know, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.